Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Brains, Bumps and Belonging, the Wrestling and Neurodiversity podcast. I am Gary Stamp, aka Max McFly, and I'm your host. Now, if you're tuning in hoping to hear or see the Alfie Spencer episode, I apologise, we had to postpone. I was supposed to meet with him last week. Nobody's fault, it's just life gets in the way sometimes, and that episode will be coming soon. We will be recording it soon. Please bear with us. Thank you for your patience. I promise it'll be worth the wait. He's a great guy, really interesting, and I can't wait to see what he has to say. So yeah, bear with us. But for now, for today, you've got to put up with my voice again, I'm afraid. So yes, it is just me today. And speaking of my own voice, apologies. I've not put this up sooner, not recorded it sooner, but I had a job interview this week, and you know, it's like if you've had a job interview recently, you sat there for 45 minutes to an hour talking about yourself. By the end of it, you bored yourself to tears, like you're sick of your own voice, and yeah, after that, you just want to go and hide in a dark room somewhere. So that's why I haven't put this up any sooner. So apologies for the delay, but yeah, lots to get through today. I'm going to start with something quite topical because it's affected me certainly this week, and I'm not going to mention people because I don't need to, but I wondered about people's experience of like ring gear makers, and I should make this like a little topic each time. Is it just me? Because where I am autistic, I don't know if it's just me being oversensitive about a topic or if other people feel the same way or have the same experience. So we'll be interested to hear what other people's opinions of it are. But if you order some ring gear and say to someone like, look, I'd like this. Can you do it? Yes, great. I need it by this date. This is my next show, or this is the show I need it by. And that show's in, 4 to 5 months' time. And they say, yeah, that's not a problem at all. I can do it for you. You think, great. You pay the full amount up front, as expected, because that person's got to order the materials. It's personalised, so it's not like they can sell it to somebody else. It's got your name on and that sort of thing. So I get having to pay for it up front. But if you give them 4 to 5 months notice and they say it's no problem at all, you need it by a certain date, why is it? Why do I have to be chasing someone 2 days before that deadline, 2 days before that show to say, where is it? Have you sent it? And for them to not have any communication. Like, communication's brilliant to begin with until they've got your money, and then that's it. And I guess that's business, but I get people are busy. You'll have jobs that you're rushing through. You'll have bigger jobs than your one. You're in a queue. But if you're saying to someone, can you do this? You've got 4 to 5 months to do it. Can you do it? Yes. And then you're chasing them 2 days before, sat there worrying that your ring gear, your gear is not going to be ready. It's not going to be delivered in time for your show. 5 months. Is it just me? I don't know. Let me know. I just think, like, just because that's a deadline, it shouldn't be your target. It could have been done weeks ago. I could have had some communication to say, look, I've got a list of these jobs. This is when yours will be finished. It's going to be posted on this date. I haven't even had confirmation that it's been posted. So I'm just on a wing of prayer hoping that it's going to turn up tomorrow, ready for this event on Friday. Otherwise, what am I going to do? It's not like you can go out to a local shop and get a replacement. This is bespoke wrestling gear. You can't just go out and get something off the shelf. So yeah, it's really, really annoying. Let me know what you think. Have you experienced that? Can you recommend any decent gear makers who are reliable, who will be in good communication with you and not leave it to the last minute playing that lottery as to whether stuff's going to turn up? But yeah, let me know. So I'm going to move swiftly on to another topic, and it's around just having like mutual respect in wrestling. I get that people are more experienced than others. I get people have got more life experience than others. And if you're a wrestler and you've done all these things and you've wrestled here, there and everywhere, and you've got good ideas, that's great. We really need that, especially the people that are inexperienced. That is definitely needed because you're setting that standard. You're giving people your knowledge. You're sharing that, which is brilliant. But when sharing that knowledge crosses the line into controlling and taking over, it's not helpful. If you're in a match with somebody, there's a group of you, whether it's 2 of you, it doesn't make a difference. And you're talking down to people and belittling them and belittling their achievements, whether that's in wrestling or elsewhere. if you think you know best because you're twice the other person's age, that does not mean that their opinion isn't valid. There are different things that people want to achieve in wrestling and in particular matches. It might be, I want to be a champion. I want to hold that title. I want to win that Rumble. I want to win that briefcase. That's me pointing to my briefcase with a little smile on my face in case you're listening on Spotify. But in all seriousness, there's different people have different goals in wrestling. And some of them is just to get through a match. They want to make their family proud. They've got their family in the crowd. They want to do this move, and this move. And they're not bothered what else happens. And that's great. Like, fair play to them. They know what they want to do. They know what they want to achieve. As long as they get those moves in, they're not going to cause anyone any issues. There's people that are quiet and will allow others to take over and to plan the match. Again, nothing wrong with that at all. There are people more experienced. Some people don't want that responsibility. That's absolutely fine. But if somebody wants to do something, and it's quite plausible, it's proportionate, and the other person's saying, no, you're not going to do that, or no, you should do this instead because I know better, what are you doing that for? Whose benefit is that for? Because it's just selfish. You're being selfish. You want to do your things. You want to do the things that make you look good. If you're expecting somebody else to take a particular move from you, why can't they dictate that you're going to take a certain move from them? Unless you've got an injury or a particular reason why you can't take a certain move, why are you dictating what moves someone else can do? If you're in a WWE or an AEW and you're in a match and you say, oh, I want to do this move, and they're like, you're not going to do that move, you're going to do this move because I think it will look better, that's not going to wash, is it? You're going to run out of friends very quickly. And I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but I've experienced this several times already. Mainly other people telling me and me seeing it to do other people in other matches. But like, where do you get off telling people that they can't do a certain move, or you know better than them, or you're a better wrestler than them? I've got no time for that. Which is why, one of the reasons I've limited my sort of wrestling action, if you like, or training, because I don't want any part of the drama. Like, I'm more than happy to call this stuff out. Some people will call me a troublemaker. I don't care. There are a few people that are the same because of the way they're brought up, or because the principles they've got or the morals they've got. If they see wrongdoing, they'll call it out. If you want to call that troublemaking, fine, but you're wrong. It's not troublemaking. It's stopping a culture from developing. And people throw around the terms like bullying and things like that. You know, that's your own opinion. It's controlling. You don't need to do it. And if I see it, I will call it out. I've done it before. I'll do it again. If that creates some enemies, I don't care. I don't need friends like that. If your aim is to belittle someone and to get your own way and to throw your weight around, I don't want you as a friend. So there's no incentive for me to stay quiet and just allow you to do that. So I won't apologise for it. I've got friends that will do the same thing. Maybe that's why we're friends, because we share the same principles. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'll just say, just please consider other people. Consider what they want to get out of wrestling. They're as entitled to have an opinion as you are. Doesn't matter how experienced you are. I don't care if you've been wrestling 20 years or 20 minutes. Doesn't matter. Let them achieve what they want to achieve. Let them feel heard. Let them feel listened to, and that their opinion is valued and respected. That's it on that. So I'll move slightly away from wrestling for a moment, because something come up this week that my wife was talking about. And as you've probably heard before on one of these podcasts, my daughter's just going through a stage of diagnosis for ADHD. She's had problems at school, as you can imagine. And this week, she said to my wife, oh, Mum, I was thinking today, if I try really, really, really hard and I concentrate and do my best, I can be just like a regular child. As a parent, what do you say to that? When your child's saying they've got to try really, really hard just to be on par with someone who's regular or normal, that tells you everything. And that does correlate to wrestling as well, as what I was saying before. Like, do you even know what it takes for somebody who's young or shy or vulnerable to even step out their front door in the morning, to go to school, to go to college, to go to work, to go out to a social outing, to go to wrestling training? Have you got any idea what it takes, what sort of courage and the energy and the mental energy it takes for somebody in that in that situation to do that. And my daughter's no different. Like, I tell her off for being naughty and for playing up, for answering back. But like, she goes to school already behind other children. She's extremely bright. Don't get me wrong, she's very, very bright. But because of this condition, she already goes to school in deficit compared to most other children. And she's got to try so hard just to even get on that even keel with them. Never mind exceeding that and excelling at school. That, like, obviously don't give her enough credit and I don't cut her enough slack. And it's the same in wrestling. I've said before, there's so many people with neurodiversities in wrestling. And to even have the courage to get up, to go to training, to go to matches, to get in that ring and perform in front of people, it's huge. Some people it comes naturally, and fair play to them. They've got the acting side of it, they've got the wrestling ability, they get in that ring and they can just do anything. And like, hats off to them. I think they're amazing. But for others, it is so much harder, you cannot even comprehend it. So when you're doing things like talking down to people or saying that their idea is rubbish, like, that destroys them. It destroys their confidence. And I've spoken about before, you're less likely to come back to something if you have a bad experience, if you've got a neurodiversity, if you're vulnerable, if you're a young child, because there's children at wrestling academies from the age of like 8, 9, 10 years old, and you've got people criticising them. It just destroys their self-confidence. You should be building these people up, telling them how amazing they are for even turning up, for even trying something like wrestling. It's not a normal hobby, is it? It's not football. It's not reading. It's not riding a bike. Wrestling's crazy. And to even like get up and go and do that, every single person listening to this, every single person that's got in that wrestling ring, fair play to you. And thank you to your parents or partners, whoever encourage you, whoever brings you along. Like, thank you to them as well, because that effort and that encouragement is massive, and that'll make such a big difference to them later on in life. So fair play to you, and on behalf of them and behalf of like wrestling family, thank you so much. It's brilliant. It means a lot. So I talked about a briefcase before, and I've had conversations with other wrestlers recently about measuring success. Like, how do you measure that? What does that look like for you? And as I said, success for some people is just getting in that ring. It's even getting that ring gear on, putting a match together, which is a huge challenge for most people, and getting that ring and doing it and surviving it. And that is a success. But for others, it's winning titles. But let's remember, wrestling, it isn't real, okay? I'm not shocking anyone by saying that. It isn't real. So if somebody's decided you're going to be a champion, that could be for several reasons. It could be because you're the best technical wrestler. It could be because you're over with the crowd. It could be because they love your gimmick. It could be because you're useful to them for a number of other reasons. It might be because of a favour. It could be anything. It's not just about you've got into that ring, you pinned someone, so you're better than them, you're stronger than them, you're faster than them, so you're the champion. This isn't a 100-metre race where the fastest person gets the gold medal and they're undoubtedly the best because they're the fastest. They're the most consistent. You can measure that, can't you? With wrestling, you can't ultimately define who the best person is, who should be the champion. And I know for a fact that there's people that have said things about me winning this briefcase, not from Venom, so it's not from there, but I know others have been saying things that I don't deserve it. But how do you measure what I've been doing? You don't know what I've been doing behind the scenes. You don't know how hard I've been working. You don't know what I do to help put a show on. You know nothing about it. So we're so quick to be negative about other people's success. Why are we doing that? Why are we not bigging people up and saying congratulations, pat on the back? Why is it so difficult to be pleased for someone? If you're impartial, you're not friends with someone, but you see someone's done well, like winning the briefcase, like winning the title, just be happy for them. It might be your turn next. You might be the next person. You don't know. You don't know where you sit in the thoughts of those in charge. You just got to keep going, keep working hard. If you want to win a title, good for you. Work towards that. If you just want to be in a match, brilliant. Work towards that. Have your own goals. Don't sit there and be jealous about somebody else's success, because there's no need. If somebody else gets picked over you, that's life. That's not just wrestling. And that happens all the time. I've applied for a few jobs recently. I've not got it. Someone else has got it. That's life. I have to learn from the feedback and move on and try better. So, yeah, that's that really. Just to talk about measuring success, it's not just about winning titles. And I know people have said stuff about my friends, Jensen Theory, James Cena. Don't know if you know, but they run Venom. It's their company. They're both currently champions in Venom, and they deserve it. You can't just say that they don't deserve to be a champion because they run it, that they've given the belt to themselves. In fact, James Cena, I'll let you in on a secret, he didn't want to be champion. He didn't want it to begin with. He's waited this long. I think he was champion for about 30 seconds last time and got cashed in on. He's more about putting other people over, bringing other people their success. Those two people are two of the most selfless people I've ever met in wrestling. They're more interested in putting other people over, in getting other people to have success and to enjoy it, and for fans to enjoy shows. And they put so much effort. They both got full-time jobs as well. This isn't their only business. They put so much time and effort into pleasing everybody else and to putting on a good show. Why shouldn't they have a title? They've got as much right as anybody else. They're very good wrestlers. They're very good at what they do. It's their turn. Okay? And that's it. You can bitch and moan about it, but they are champions and they deserve to be champions. I will be taking the title off Cena at some point. Spoiler. No, not definitely, but I hope so at some point. But I'll let them enjoy it for a bit longer. But yeah, that's that. And I realise I've done a lot of moaning today. I don't mean to be negative, but I just want to address a few things. And this is the best way of me doing it. These podcasts are just a way for me to moan at myself, really. So, yeah, that's that. And I'm going to finish on something that I've watched about 100 times this week. I don't know if anybody saw the Obafemi Brock Lesnar segment on Raw this week, but I thought it was brilliant. It was just perfect. Obviously, you had Brock and Seth Rollins in the ring. The lights went out. Who's it going to be? And Obafemi's music hit. Down he comes with his little dance. And then pushed Lesnar on his ass. And fair play to Lesnar, because people say stuff about him, and I'll talk about selflessness with the other guys, but he's one of the most selfless people because he doesn't care. He doesn't care if he wins or loses. He still gets paid. He knows he doesn't need to prove anything to anybody anymore. And I don't know if you saw it, but he told Obafemi, step on me, step on my chest. And that just set the whole thing off. So he stood on his chest, put his foot on his chest and pointed to the WrestleMania sign. And it was perfect. Perfect moment. He's instantly over. Everybody instantly loves him. And he's got a massive match at WrestleMania. And I think he even shed a tear, didn't he? Because it was so emotional. The reaction was so positive. And he's come up from NXT, sort of come from nowhere onto the main roster. All of a sudden he's got Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Amazing. Let us know your thoughts on WrestleMania, what your predictions are. There's still a few slots to fill, I think, for matches. You know, Gunter, Sammy, Seth, LA Knight, none of them have got matches yet. How's that going to pan out? Let us know your thoughts. And yeah, hopefully I'll get that episode recorded soon with Alfie. We'll meet up. We've got some good questions to ask each other, and that'll be on soon. So thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody gave a little love?